We're working. We're in the lab, and we're gonna make sure this happens as soon as possible.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
What's going on, guys? Of course, an early mute to start things off. We have Texas attire. We are ready. It's Bijan Watch here, NFL draft style. Not the right sport, but the right team. We are starting off late, of course. We're here to celebrate Lando's birthday. It is Lando's birthday, so we are watching the NFL draft. Very excited to get things started. I mean, things don't really start till pick 2 anyways. We all know who's going pick 1, maybe. But the pick isn't. So that pick is coming in right now. I'm sure it's all over social. We're going to stay off social. We're going to be surprised with the live draft. Lando is bringing those hot dogs. In case you missed it, we've got our Bijan mustard today. That's right, Bijan mustard for today's hot dogs. Very, very excited. So if you haven't been to one of these draft watch parties type of things, we're going to have 3 of these in the next 2 months. So be ready. I am your host, Ernest Silva, and tonight we'll be joined probably by Kenny Cotterell. That's right, Kenny Cotterell is going to be joining us. Possibly Steve the General Riser, maybe some Andrew Consutton, but Lando will be in studio with us. I see him backstage. Again, he is downstairs making some hot dogs for our wonderful Bijan mustard. So where is Bijan Robinson going? That's what today's focus is for today's show. Once Bijan's drafted, we'll do some analysis on the fit. Then we'll be off tonight. You will catch me and analyzing the Cowboys pick with Kenny on the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Show right after this show. So about 8:30 Central Time, we'll be on the Good Old Boys. Roger Goodell making his way to the stage on our feed. We might be a little behind. Coach Peanut in the house. What's up, Coach? What's up, Coach? Brown select him couch. Oh, gosh. Rekindle. Here we go. Bryce Young is the number 1 pick. Bryce Young, that's kind of been the consensus. We kind of thought you can kind of see I'm watching the feed right over here on the big screen over here in the Rockets fan cave. In case you haven't been in the Rockets fan cave before, we have our wall of fame over there. The Harden jersey getting some stitching on the right side of me is getting fixed. But there we go. Bryce Young is gone. Pick number 1. Kind of figured that was coming. Hands down. Bryce Young goes. Bama quarterback. And a fantastic pick. I think that is the right pick. That's why they traded up with the Bears to get that pick. And Bryce Young showed he has superstar potential and a pro system at Bama. He did things the right way under Nick Saban and was a phenomenal talent. So he will fit right in with the Panthers. Panthers get dynamic, and they continue to build already with the youth movement happening there as they shipped out Christian McCaffrey. Before pick number 2, I always got to do a shout out to my boys, especially when coach is on the line. Let's take a look at that stream team and see what they got going on here in the beginning of 2023.
Yo, Jill going down the hill. Gonna go fetch Jack in his little pill. Jack feeling down and that's pretty bad. Let's go.
Oh! Yo! Clip that! Clip that headshot!
Nice.
No!
A pistol. What the? Okay, that didn't count.
Woo! Let's go, baby! Clutch it up! Yeah, I like it!
What? No way! Did that precision just kill me?
Let's go!
Nice, Papa!
Papa with the clutch kill at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed. That was bad.
Got him.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to go steal their shit.
That is definitely green.
You're dumb and it's orange.
We're both wrong, red.
I could get that solo if I tried it a couple times, but we'll come back to it.
I'm fucking dick right now. Holy shit. Like, I fucking suck right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right, we are back. Lando's going to be coming up with those wonderful hot dogs. But I'm telling you right now, it is Bijan Watch time. We have our Bijan mustard. I did hear, though, that Bijan Robinson does have his own Bijan Way mustard brand. Missed that one. Dad had no idea. For those of you asking, it's just the NBA draft. It's not, right? It's the NFL draft. I just don't have a Texas football jersey. That is going to be coming soon. As I realized as I was going through my wardrobe, I need that. That is something needed. But the Texans are picking here. If you missed it, I was on the MTMV Sports mock draft show just last week. I said CJ Stroud is the pick here. I said, you don't go anywhere else but CJ Stroud. I'm in a group that's very primary Houston. They kind of don't want to go quarterback if they don't get Bryce. I don't know if they pass on Stroud and Houston's just not sold on it. Then you roll with Keenum and Mills this year. I kind of agree with that. Stroud is kind of a not a huge distant second for me in Houston, but it is definitely second place. And it's not the prime talent. I don't think it's like an all-generational talent. I think Stroud's going to be great, but the Ohio State quarterback curse is real. There's a couple quarterbacks that still have to be determined, but at least for what I know, it doesn't work out for Ohio State quarterbacks. So we're going to have to see what Houston does here. They took a long time with their pick. They took the full 6.5 minutes. It's usually like we're debating between this pick. They could go special defensive lineman here with this pick. They could go really with a Jalen Carter, a Will Anderson from Bama as well would be a great pick for them. But if it's Stroud and you think Stroud's a pick, you go Stroud. So if they are sold, if that's their guy, I know we all probably watch NFL Draft today. So if you did it right, like that's your guy, Vontae Mack all the way. Then you go CJ Stroud with this pick. Personally, I think that's the right pick for Houston right now. I think this is where they go. We saw in Vegas that the odds started jumping right towards the starting ticker for the NFL draft. So I've got to guess that Vegas has the inside. Vegas has the knowledge. The line was jumping quite a bit for Stroud at 2. Got to assume that's where it's going for Houston. So I'm going to guess right now and say Stroud fits in right there into this offense, and an offense that has Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary in the backfield, an offense that has a new revamped wide receiver core led by Nico Collins and their rookie that didn't play with Mechie, and of course some additions. I think they go wide receiver at 13. I don't know if we'll be on when they're making their pick. Hopefully, from the Cowboys side of me, we are. But if we aren't and we're not Bijan watching at that time, then we will see who the Texans go with at 13. So let's see what they do here. It looks like the pick is in, and they're going to be walking it up. Again, we are on tonight specifically for the Bijan Robinson watch. So if you're not a Texas fan, you don't like Bijan Robinson, you don't like this whole get up, we'll do pick-by-pick analysis till he's on the board. He's there, right? But until then, we're signing off at that point. You can catch me on the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast with Kenny. So both the ITL hosts will be on there. Doing our due diligence and hanging out with our Podern family as they're going live and doing their draft currently right now. The pick is in, so we're going to listen up.
Here you win this.
CJ Stroud is in. The quarterback, the new franchise quarterback of Houston, has been chosen, and the Ohio State prospect, the superstar from Ohio State, is up. He looks determined. He looks legit right now as he's walking up. It looks like he's been crying a little bit. CJ Stroud is the pick. All right. So CJ Stroud is the choice for the Houston Texans. I mock draft that choice as well. I'm sure many others did. I like the pick. A lot of people say like this is, it's not Bryce Young. I said that too. CJ Stroud is talented. He gets the ball down the field. We'll have to see if the offense translates. Ohio State offensive quarterbacks have not been very good. We're going to talk about what your opinions on the pick right now. I want to hear them in the comments. What are your thoughts of C.J. Stroud to Houston? Before I do that, Coach Peanut's asking, what's my prediction of where Bijan Robinson goes? The logical pick is Philadelphia. It fits. Philly needs a back, a lead back, a featured back. This is an all NFL back you're going to be getting for the rookie deal. That's where you go with this pick, is that he'll be in Philly. Now, if I have to say where's the next best place, it's New England. New England would be going after Bijan. I think that would be the next logical pick at 14, so I think that's where we end up. I don't know if Philly really goes for the Texas back, if they're going to go with the running back, as they've gotten spurned with players like Miles Sanders in the past at that position. I'm going to guess that if he falls past that, we're looking at teams like Dallas, Cincinnati trading up, depending on if certain prospects are still there or not, or we're looking at Los Angeles if the Austin Eckler situation is truly resolved or is not truly resolved. Then we're looking at a Los Angeles Chargers situation or Baltimore Ravens situation where he would be landing there, which would be phenomenal places for him to land because they're pieces away from being Super Bowl contenders and true contenders, but they're in the tougher division, tougher conference. So that's my prediction, Coach. I know it's a lot of flip-flopping around. Where my fandom thinks he goes is Dallas. Got to hope they trade up. I do have a theory on this that I'll share with you if we get to that pick and he's still on the board. Cardinals are on the clock. The Arizona Cardinals are a dumpster fire. But before we go to that, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the chat. Frank Labuda, a good friend of the show, awesome individual, terrific person to follow. Terrible pick. I completely agree. I completely agree to the extent of if you wanted Bryce so badly enough, you should have made the trade. If it wasn't worth it, then why settle? Go for a defensive stamp, right? Like if you're DeMeco Ryans, your whole demeanor is defense. Go for the Will Anderson. Take the pick. But obviously it was leaked early. The odds were coming in favor. C.J. Stroud was trending. I don't know about C.J. Stroud being a disaster yet. I have to, again, Ohio State quarterbacks don't have that extra oomph, right? They don't tend to have the second and third level as many other prospects coming out of Bama, Texas, I say Texas because I'm biased, Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes, just other schools have been able to make that. Texas is awesome, Lando. Lando's officially in the studio, and yes, he has brought officially the hot dogs. The hot dogs have arrived with our Bijan mustard. That's right, Bijan mustard. We are having our own trademark Bijan mustard night as we're on Bijan Watch. Right now, C.J. Stroud doing his player interview before the Cardinals are on the clock. Cardinals already 7 minutes deep to the third pick of this draft. So, Frank, you're saying trade to Colts. I would love to understand your question. Are you saying like the Colts trade their pick, or are you saying that somebody gets traded to the Colts? Give me a classification on that. Would love to address it. And so we look at our big board here on ITL. Jalen Carter still on the board. Will Anderson still on the board. Two defensive specialists on that line. Will Anderson, to me, is the better prospect of the two. You have players like Devin Weatherspoon, Peter Skoronski still on the board. Then, of course, Bijan Robinson still on the board, my third or fourth best prospect still on the board. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Colts need to trade up for a quarterback. I agree. So as much as I love Sam Ehlinger, I don't think he is the future there in Indianapolis, although I like to believe so. Too small. But we have Indy that's going to want to probably go after somebody like the Florida prospect, the Florida quarterback that came out. He's been making noise everywhere. Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson has been said he's got the height, he's got the weight, he's got the composure. He's been doing great. Others have said Will Levis is the next best prospect, quarterback prospect. I'm not sold on Levis. Levis gives me Mitchell Trubisky vibes. If you heard the show last week, I was talking with many people at MTMV Sports about the Levis Trubisky vibes, and he fell on our draft board. Picked up around 14, 15 by the Washington Commanders. And that's where I think he actually ends up in tonight's draft. So maybe I'm got some fortune telling going on. But for me, it would be interesting if Levis fell and Richardson ended up going to the Colts. Who do you think, Frank? Where do the Colts end up taking at quarterback if they go quarterback? Chef D. Houston has 3 in pick. All right, so we're getting the updates now from the draft. So give us a minute as we're getting the updates, and we are going to go back to our reaction. Might have a leg up on me, Frank. Let's take a look. And the Texans have traded up to 3. So you got the leg up. You got the leg up on me. So Houston has traded up to 3. We're gonna have to find out what the trade is. Good call, Frank Labuda. Again, we're staying off social, so we're not getting any social spoilers. We're purely TV. Houston has traded up. This is like draft day all over again. Nuts. And so Houston now on the clock. To me, this is Will Anderson. They wanted him. He came out was spectacular in his pro day. He was spectacular at the combine. He's been doing amazing things on the field. I've got to think that Houston does that. If it's in the comments or if I can see it, did Houston trade? I'm guessing Houston traded 12 for this, which would make the wide receiver prediction gone at this point. But this is his draft. Cesario's making his statement after rocking it in last year's draft with the Pierce pick and many others. This is his draft. He's going to make that statement here. And again, we're staying off social media, so I have no idea where Houston goes. This shakes things up. Cardinals fall back to 12, I'm guessing. And the comments are rolling in. Colts quarterback at 4. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Houston throw with Anderson. And so he's predicting. So Frank's predicting also that Anderson, I'm seeing your comments roll in, Frank, the 12th pick to the Cardinals. So you might have a leg up on that. We are not showcasing the social spoilers. So if you've got a leg up on that, perfect. That makes that prediction on point. But what a crazy turn of events. I'm sure my Houston chat's going nuts right now. I'm not going to look at it, though. Lando is in studio. Lando, you coming on screen tonight? You staying? No, he's staying behind the scenes. He says, I'm going to enjoy my hot dog. You can wait to eat cold hot dogs later. Houston pick is coming in. Looks like they're showcasing the back of the draft. I'm going to take a swig, and then we're going to be right back with analysis on this pick as Roger Goodell makes his way to the stage. There it is, Will Anderson. Will Anderson is the pick. We called it here. They have him listed as linebacker. He's more of an edge. Jadeveon Clowney did not work for Houston, but Will Anderson is a fantastic pick. So Will Anderson going to Houston. Anderson and Stroud, back-to-back picks 2 and 3. We're going to try to get details on what the trade consisted of. So we're going to do some research on the side. I'd like to dissect what else was given up between the Texans and the Cardinals. So let's take a look. Well, you know what? We're going to find details right now. Lando's going to look it up and put it into our back chat. But yes, Anderson is wonderful. I guess that's why they take the risk there, Frank. They go. No, I don't think they're the best team in Texas. I'm watching your comments come through. That's a debate. Will Anderson's going to be that staple guy for DeMeco Ryans. I was just talking and voicing that out loud. Like, that's your guy, right? Like, that's your J.J. Watt moment for Cesario. That's your J.J. Watt pick. That's awesome. We might get taken down for copyright, but we're going to roll with it. Lando is going to showcase where exactly we're at. And I just said it, Frank, new JJ Watt. I'm right there with you. This is that pick. This is that franchise cornerstone that you built around. Just we didn't think they would get both Stroud and Anderson. And so, Lando, can you look up the details on the trade between the Texans and the Cardinals to see what all was involved? I want to see what they gave up. And so Lando's going to look that up on the site there, just as a pick there, where we're at in this draft. And so you can deal, like, we're not doing social spoilers, so you can see exactly where we're at. But Lando on the camera on the back end now. Now we're going to be going on to pick number 4. The Colts are at 4 here. It's round number 1. And okay, so the details aren't out yet. So So Frank's in detail now. Now you might notice we have some of them jerseys around that screen. That's right. We have a Wall of Fame section all over. You see Jalen Green's already on my board. Jalen Green's amazing. He's going to be an amazing performer. You're more than welcome to join the Houston Rockets. McGrady, Drexler around there. Steve Francis at the end, just so you know, around that TV. So with that bark, we are sponsored by PetSmart tonight. PetSmart, go get your pet's needs all around today for your pets. Cats, dogs, hamsters, whatever you do, PetSmart has it for you. As my dog Weena is barking around all over the place. As Rachel's now in the studio. Rachel coming up, going to come out and hang out with the group tonight. Lando, though, in the back. All right, so Colts on the clock. If I'm the Colts here, I go Richardson. I am not a believer in Levis. So if Levis is the rumor, I'm not for it. Here's why. Levis is a quarterback who had some throws, but lost his starting position, couldn't gain it back, transferred, did okay. You watch a throw, it looks like that's why you're here. You look at another throw, it's like, wow, you're here. And that's where Levis comes. It gives me very big Trubisky vibes. Trubisky had it together for one season, was not well proven, and then you saw, what happened with that situation. So Trubisky's where Trubisky is in Pittsburgh. So the pick is in. So I would take this moment to allow this to happen. But like everybody, we're excited. What a crazy turn of events. All of Houston and the state of Texas is doing this as we watch Will Anderson with the Texans hat.
What?
Yeah, and so congratulations to the Texans and Texans fans. You officially have your staple franchise players. I think this is the turnaround. This is big for you guys. I'm excited. I'm excited to cover it next season with my brand new baby boy and maybe having Lily as a regular next year, maybe having her pick games. I'm excited. And so the pick is in. And so we're going to await. All right. Until then, have you heard about BCMG's Better Together initiative? Better Together. BCMG hosts a number of different individuals, streamers, shows, productions. Be a part of BCMG today. Let me roll that commercial since we're early on to the show, and who knows where Bijan ends up. So let's roll it.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday.
I'm your host, Andrew Kahn. This is the Boomtown Pod.
Add into the Lab Pod is where you're watching today's stream.
Stuck him!
It is Blue Collar Game Day. I am your host.
I got a kill!
Yes! Welcome to episode 277 of the Official Butthole Podcast. Got him.
Beautiful. Better together.
Better together.
We're better together.
Better together.
Better together.
We're waiting for that pick to come in still. I'm enjoying a hot dog courtesy of Lando's hands. He has cooked these hot dogs. He used no utensils. He just got everything on his hands. He slathered the butter on them. He turned them with his finger. I didn't know what the guy was doing in there. He was just going crazy. And, of course, Bijan mustard. Here we go. There it is. We are 4 for 4. Anthony Richardson officially to the Colts. We are hitting tonight. Anthony Richardson to the Colts. Not shocked. It's the right pick there. And, okay, details are in per Schefter. I'm getting them from Frank right now. Picks 3 and 105 to the Texans, I'm guessing, of this year. And the Texans go first and second round to move up to 3. That's a lot to give, but it works out salary-wise. I don't have the figures in front of me. And they give 2 picks next year. Interested to see what picks those are. Must not be high because they're not mentioning numbers or first or second round predictions. So awesome. Air fryer hot dogs are the best. Actually, you need to try a crispy dog, Coach Peanut. Crispy dogs are legit. Lando's specialty. So Lando can probably come on air and talk about them if you really wanted to. but he won't. By the way, everybody, let me get some happy birthday shout-outs to Lando. Happy birthday shout-outs. The big man's turning 21, finally able to drink legally and show his face in public. I've been telling him for years he has to grow out his beard because he needs everybody to know how old he is. But
He's 31, man. He's 31.
Oh, 31, he says. Yeah, right. He's 21. He's 21. All right. Seahawks on the clock. They're 4 minutes deep into this. I'm going to take a bite of my hot dog. Tell me, guys, where does Bijan Robinson end up? I only see a couple of predictions. If you're watching, plug them into the comments. Let me know where you think Bijan goes. I know where my favorite places are. I'm really hoping for a certain scenario, but I'm not going to talk about it till we get closer to pick number 9. All right. Yep. So the Texans get picks 2 and 3 and end up with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson, 2 great picks. Seahawks on the clock here, so let's dissect the Seattle Seahawks a little bit. So with Anthony Richardson off the board, you have players like Jalen Carter, defensive interior lineman. You know the Seahawks are all about defense. Devon Weatherspoon, who is a fantastic, probably the top corner in the draft right now. You have players like Peter Skoransky at the tackle position. It's really going to come back to, do we think that Geno Smith is going to be around here to be that franchise quarterback for Seattle 2 or 3 more years? Next year's draft class for quarterback position is so good that you have to think, is this where I reach for Levis if you're Seattle? Because I'm watching the comments roll in, and Frank, you're saying you think they draft quarterback. I tend to disagree here. I'm not a big fan of Levis, and I'm thinking maybe some of these front offices are not buying into the hype of this Will Levis situation. At least I'm hoping so. Seattle, though, could go defense here. I think we were on the mock draft show for MTMV Sports. Shout out to my MTMV Sports partners, specifically Rick Sincere. So happy to be sharing the stage again with you, my man. I'm excited to do some more in the near future. But we looked at that draft. Seattle went safety here. Seattle went safety or corner, and that was their prediction on that show. It was a bit of a reach. They brought up, I think, somebody from the back end of, I wasn't even thinking about it. It might have been Brian Branch. I think that's who it was, Brian Branch from Bama, that was reached here at 5. I don't think they've dipped that far. This might be a Witherspoon pick, or maybe they didn't think Jalen Carter would be there and they go defense. I do think Seattle goes defense here. I think they feel like they are closer than we all think they are. And yeah, let's see what pick is in. 3 minutes left on the clock. We don't see anything. Again, we're keeping social spoilers out. We are not looking at social media. We are purely TV. We're showing that TV feed so you can see where we're at. Yes, Seattle will get better luck next year around 15 or 20. Yeah, so we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what happens. I agree, Frank. If you're saying, like, yes, there's better quarterback pools at that pick, I think so. Like, I think Seattle doesn't do as well even this year in the NFL because of some regression that we're going to see from players on that team. And no Rashad Penny. I know we're going to have they have other options. Mel Kiper has Bijan at number 3. That's what we're here for, right? We're here for Bijan. Bijan's a pick at number the third best player right now left on the board for him. And so we're going to see what comes back. We're going to what could possibly be a commercial break. And so we don't have a pick is in moment yet, but 8 minutes down on the clock for Seattle as we're here in Kansas City watching. All right. So, tonight's episode is fun. I know you guys haven't seen much of us, right? We took the week off last week. We're going to have another couple weeks before we're on again with you guys. Just a reminder, tonight's draft episode will be superseded by the NBA draft lottery episode, which is not until May 16th. You won't see our lovely faces until May 16th when we're going to find out that the Houston Rockets have the number 1 overall pick in Victor Wembanyama.
What?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Not till May 16th. I know it's heartbreaking, but I may have a kid by then. Like I might have another kid by May 16th, and I'll be doing that episode with the baby in my arms. I mean, who knows at that point?
Give me a hell yeah!
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, very excited. Trey on the way. So NBA draft lottery, Houston Rockets, Victor Wembanyama. I had to squeeze that in, or you wouldn't be in the Rockets fan cave, right? You wouldn't be in the Rockets fan cave. We didn't squeeze that in. So really fun fact about what we're doing tonight. It's a celebration. We've got our Bijan mustard. If you haven't been watching, the Bijan mustard is here in studio with us. We're very excited. There's the Bijan Robinson mustard. We have my two favorite producers in the studio with Lando and Rachel. My best friends, my producers, very excited. We have a new Radio Row setup, courtesy and donated from Orlando Mendoza, the man, the birthday man himself, brought over monitors. We have a whole Radio Row setup. We're planning on doing live interviews next year. So next year we're going to be bringing in live candidates, athletes around San Antonio to come do interviews here in studio. And we're really excited about that production and what's going on. And then not to mention bringing on the old timers and the old couple. They'll be coming and doing debates in studio as well. So lots and lots and lots of things going on for Into the Lab in the off season. Frank is saying the pick is in. I can see it on the side. We don't have any spoilers yet. I do see pick is in on my screen. Number 5 pick of Seattle is in. I am excited. I really hope with this pick, if it was me, I'm hoping that they do go Jalen Carter with this pick. That's the best player available. I think that fills that gap for them. And then once they get that gap, they can go and fill other needs later on in the draft and go QB next year because that youth movement's going to be needed. Let's see where Seattle goes with that. The commercial break is coming to an end. And I have seen a couple more, but I'm going to put it out there. All right. If you think you know where Bijan's going, let us know. We need to know how long we're going to be on. I mean, at this point, it could be ages before we're off. It could be 10 o'clock. But I tell you this, at 8:30, I'll be on the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find me on there. 8:30 and 9 o'clock slots are Kenny and I. We're going to have some fun. We're going to dissect where the Cowboys are going with their pick. I mean, maybe we're still Bijan watching at that point, right? One can hope and pray. Back in Kansas City, though, we are going live. I'm going to go mute. You're going to see this production, and we're going to react right now. All right, Devin Witherspoon. He goes. All right, so we said defense. We were half right. We thought they were going to go Jalen Carter. Devin Witherspoon's a good pick. The cornerback coverage for Seattle was a big need for them. They need it right here at this moment. He is the best corner in this draft. If you haven't watched any Devon or Devin Witherspoon highlights, you're going to see him right now. But he played for Illinois. Fantastic corner, locked down. They called it Witherspoon Island for a while there, as nobody completed a pass for 50 pass attempts on that side of the field. We're watching his highlights right now. You're going to see some of his athleticism as well as his big playability. Recognition is probably the better way of doing it. But he has a way of just a knack of getting to the ball. You can see that he's just explosive. So he's a fantastic player. He's going to fit that Seattle mold, the 12th man mold. Going to be a really great player for them, and he's going to bring that pulse. If I'm Seattle with this pick, I'm probably thinking they're like going Witherspoon the whole way. They were saying this was going to be our pick from the beginning because I think there were some better potential candidates on the board than him, but this is where they were going to go the entire way. So I'm excited to see Seattle get their guy. And that puts Detroit on the clock now. And Detroit Lions last year had the big Hutchinson pick, right? They went with the hometown kid. And so now they're on the clock here, already 4 minutes deep into that. So if you're the Detroit Lions, Here, people would say you just keep stacking the line. You keep making a run. No more Aaron Rodgers. Recent news, Aaron Rodgers been traded. If you haven't heard about that, Aaron Rodgers plays for the Jets now. Congratulations, you're up to date. Jets give away the farm. Lions possibly aiming to be the best team in the NFC North then with this. They have picks 6 and 18 tonight. So where do the Lions go with this pick? I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but Jalen Carter's on this board for me. I would go there. I would keep stacking that defensive line. Or you go with protection for your QB. If you're gonna ride the golf train, bring in Peter Skoransky, the Northwestern product at tackle. I think that would be a great choice for them too. Or is this our first shocker? Is this where Bijan Robinson goes? I don't know. I could be crazy. Okay.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I know. You're like, dude, they don't need a running back. Do they? Like, let's take a look at the Detroit Lions running back right now. Okay, so if I had to pull up their depth chart, which I'm doing right now just to make sure I have the up-to-date depth chart, their main guys are gone. Okay, they have moved on. Now, they brought in David Montgomery. I know that. Okay, they brought in David Montgomery, and DeAndre Swift is still there. DeAndre Swift is not loved. Okay, he's not loved. He's not loved by Detroit. He's not the love guy. They tried to trade him all year last year. Nobody wanted him because of his injuries. They brought in Montgomery as an insurance. Hey, bring in Bijan. Bring him in. Rookie contract. He'll be a force. Stack up the line. Go through him. Barry Sanders was there. Bijan Robinson can go there. They can support a Hall of Fame running back. Not saying he's a Hall of Fame running back yet. Just saying if it was there, the potential's there. That's where he goes. This could be our first big spoiler. Bijan Robinson to Detroit. Do I think he goes there? No. I think they go Jalen Carter here. That would be the best possible prospect. If they're not going to go Jalen Carter, let's talk about other possible candidates that could be going here. I've talked a lot about defensive players fitting different teams. Detroit needs to stack that defensive box. They could go with a Nolan Smith out of Georgia, an explosive edge rusher who was fantastic for Georgia in the SEC. However, they could go Christian Gonzalez. This is probably the fourth best prospect on the board is Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. He was a lockdown corner in the pack. He was a fantastic a captain. He's a three-time champion going from high school to college to his All-American days. I think he would be a fantastic candidate for Detroit if they wanted to explore the corner route and replace some talent that they lost. If they go defense in for my order, it would be Carter, then it would go to Nolan, and then it would go Smith, and then it would go Christian Gonzalez. So we'll have to see where Detroit goes with this pick if that is defense. If they're going to go anywhere with position player, I got to guess it's Bijan Robinson. But for the off chance that they decide to go somewhere else with it, and they want to keep stacking up talent at wide receiver, I don't think they do it. But if there was some crazy thing there, maybe Jackson Smith and Jabba is going to be there, or do we see a Dalton Kincaid with the exit of TJ Hawkinson? Maybe there's some positional talent there for Detroit. Personally, it's the Jalen Carter pick. That's where they go to fill up the line, continue to bring talent off the line. That's where they win in the trenches to make sure that the defense is an all-pro defense and stays in the top 12 this year, top 10 this year, as they make their mark. We're still on a commercial break here in the Intel Lab Podcast Studio Fan Cave. The Fan Cave portion is the outside of the studio. This is actually where we have all of our Rockets memorabilia. We have a couple of arcade machines. We have a concession stand area. A little under the remodeling phase, we have the James Harden, a big Hall of Fame area under construction. We have just replaced some of the lights and Alexis tied in. So really some cool stuff happening around here. I would be just playing Rockets Championship VHS videos to the left of me, but I don't think you guys would get a little distracted by that. Still on a commercial break, but I'm seeing my show, American Idol, is going to be coming back on. I'm really excited about that. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm an Idol fan. I was a former singer. Lando was too. We're both singers. He's smiling over there. He's the bass, I'm the tenor. So, you might catch one of our videos out there somewhere. Somewhere out there has a Mark also is a singer who does our videos for the show. Shout out to Mark. We're hearing right now during the commercial break, there's another trade. So it's looking like the Lions have traded back from the 6th pick and have traded that to the Cardinals. That changes a lot, okay? Wow. Cardinals have a lot of different needs they need here at 6, so we're going to revamp this analysis. I'm going to hear a little bit what the trade is. All right, so Shefty's saying that they traded up. He didn't have details on the trade. I did get to hear a little bit of what his prediction is. I'm not Adam Schefter. But he has said that they're going to go tackle here. We kind of talked about what tackle would look like for the Lions if they traded here. And tackle on our big board would bring back the Northwestern prospect, which is Peter Skoronsky, if that's where they're really going. I mean, Schefter usually knows everything. But if they're going to go here, and so it looks like the trade is the 6th pick for the 12th overall pick and the 34th pick. So lots of second-round picks going off the board. There must be a lot of deep talent seen on the board for the rest of the league. So Cardinals are interesting, right? The Arizona Cardinals have a lot of holes to fill. They're trying to reestablish their culture. J.J. Watt retires. Hopkins isn't exactly happy. Are we moving on from Kyler Murray? Head coach change. A lot of culture differences there in Arizona. And so here we go. The Cardinals pick is in. So if they're going to go tackle, I've already given you the best prospect for tackle. We already know the best position players out there. Let's see where the Cardinals go with this pick as Roger Goodell's ready to release it. Paris Johnson Jr., officially the pick. So let's dissect this pick a little bit. Not one of my top prospects that I rearranged on my board. So let me dive down a little bit. Paris Johnson, to me, was probably the 16th best player overall in this draft. I thought he would probably fall a little bit further down. That's why teams I liked in Chicago and others to trade down would make sense. Paris Johnson Jr., though, you'll see in the highlights that we're showcasing, fantastic talent that really knows how to protect against the run. Also protect CJ Stroud. He's that left tackle position that you watch on the blind side and you're like, yep, that's him. He's a force to reckon with. He's a wall over there. Arizona's looking to protect Kyler Murray. He's also played with quarterbacks who are a little bit shorter than normal. So you like to have him on the line. He's strong. It's a good pick for Arizona. They're going to stack up and bring the talent around Kyler Murray and the rest of the team. Bring continuity on that line. It's a good pick for them. I don't know if that's the best tackle on the board, but it's the best left tackle on the board. So all the kudos to Arizona with that pick, and that puts us to Las Vegas. So Las Vegas getting on the board here. We obviously see a lot with Las Vegas. We saw a lot with them last year. Obviously, the big breakout of Josh Jacobs and the continuity of his progression was phenomenal. The Vegas Raiders spoiled at the end, though, to make that playoff run, and brought in Jimmy G in the offseason. Wide receiver Devontae Adams there as well from last offseason. Josh Jacobs is back. Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, the other wide receivers there. Austin Hooper, the current tight end with O.J. Howard. Where does Vegas go at this pick? There are needs, right? Vegas is going to be having needs on the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive line. They're going to need more continuity and to build on that line. That just gives me more hopes for Skorensky or Jalen Carter to finally get picked. And so I'm reading that there is a possible another trade happening from my comment section. So Frank having the live update as we're doing no social spoilers for the Bijan Watch. And yes, you are right. They need the tight end position as Waller is gone. So is this where we see our first tight end? God, I'm hoping not, Frank. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that slides. But let me get the updates as Kenny Cotterell is finally making his way onto the show. He's going to tell me to shut up. I think he's hearing my voice way too much. Kenny showing, send me the link. Send me the link. I got you, Kenny. You just sent it right now, buddy. Come join us. We have some fun here on ITL. So, guys, we are on pick number 7. This is crazy. It's been crazy so far. 3 big trades in the top 6 picks. And we still have the number 2 prospect on the board for me in Jalen Carter. Sorry, forgot the name of it for a second there. Peter Skoransky was number 5 prospect for us. He's still on the board. Will Levis is the best quarterback left of the group. I still am not high on Levis. I hope he falls. Bijan Robinson, our 3 prospects, still up there. And, of course, Jackson Smith still up there on the board, number 4. We're having some fun here, though, at the Intellab studio and the Rockets fan cave. In case you haven't heard, BCMG is adding more and more talent every single day. So if you want to join Into the Lab, be a sports scientist, have your own segment on this show, interview players, or be a part of our big hoopathon, reach out to me today. DM me at Into the Lab Pod on any social platform, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, and we'll definitely bring you on board. Got the click in my ear, looking over at my producer. I'm going to see if he's going to bring him in. I think he is. There he is, the wonderful, the infamous Kenny Cotterell. Kenny, my man, what's going on, dude?
Watching the NFL draft. You know, it's almost like it's a big night in sports or something. And Texans, wow, 2 and 3.
Would you believe it, Kenny, if I told you at Parlay that they'd have the 2 and 3 pick tonight and won $50,000?
I don't believe you at all.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Yeah, that was a good try.
I was going to say, first of all, those odds probably don't exist because
probably
they
not.
already had 2.
Probably not.
So you had to put a lot of money on that. No, I mean, they get their guy at QB. They get the best defensive player in the draft. They're still going to win 4 games, but that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So I think they're having a good draft. I actually really like what Arizona's done, too.
I was just talking about that. I like the pick at left tackle because they needed it, but I don't think that was the best tackle on the board personally, but it's the best left tackle on the board for me. So,
I mean, the reason why that's great for them is, first of all, they need draft capital because Kyler Murray's like 5'9" and can't stay on the field.
I did mention that.
But what's even bigger is, so they trade back to 12. They get a first next year and an additional pick. And then they move back up to 6. They get to keep that first rounder, and all they have to give up is 12 and one of the seconds that they got in that trade. So it's like you basically got the best O-lineman in the draft and picked up a first and another pick next year. So I don't know how this can be viewed as a bad draft for them. Like, they're going to be pretty bad this year, so might as well stink it up.
It's the right way to tank, that's for sure. I think it's the right way to do things. I was saying that in their pick, right, he's not the tallest left tackle. Like, that's going to be a perfect pick for them because Kyler's going to be able to see right over his 6 foot frame.
I don't know how many 5'9", like 300-pound linemen there are, but that's what he needs.
He'd be perfect for high school football. I'll tell you that right now.
Let me tell you, if he was in Friday Night Lights, he would be phenomenal.
Stellar. We should just put him back over there. It'd be like the best high school football player ever.
We'll create a TV show. We'll put him in Texas, and then we'll have Michael B. Jordan play him. Oh, wait. Damn it. They've already made that one. It's a missed opportunity.
Shit.
So what is Vegas doing?
So Frank made a good point that this might be the first tight end off the board. Maybe. It's a little bit of a reach for me. I don't think Kincaid or Meyer should be picked here. But if I'm Vegas, maybe I'm going best player on the board at this point because the board's got to be shuffled.
Do they not take Will Levis?
I wouldn't. I'm not high on Will Levis.
I don't think they will because they have too much money in Jimmy G, but right. I don't know why they paid Jimmy G in the first place. So they got a lot of needs. I mean, to be honest, they were probably hoping to get that first corner, and then he went at 5. So I don't know.
It's Carter to me here for Vegas. Yeah. It's Carter to me here. And if it's not Carter, then you just get Bijan Robinson because that's what we're here to see.
You're all in on Bijan, eh?
That's it. Once Bijan's picked, this show's over, and we got to go to good old boys. So I'm just like, somebody pick him. Let's go.
Can we also talk about the fact that Stroud got very lucky to go 2 because he's going to have 0 expectations? Tyree Wilson. Interesting. Okay, well, D-end.
We're a little behind here. And no social spoilers, so I didn't even know that.
Oh, well, I'm streaming it, so I assume that you were on pace with it. So,
well, we're showing it so we can get taken down later. So that's oh, Tyree Wilson, what a great pick.
Somehow I don't think that they're going to be too worried about it, considering it's basically being filmed on an iPhone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it's an actual camera. It's an actual camera. It's just not.
I know, just from here, it's iPhone quality. It's hey, I went to this concert, watch this video.
I should have gotten the ladder and put it right in front of the TV at the top of the fan cave.
But seriously, Bryce Young, he's going to have a stupid amount of pressure to win the division in year 1 because he's in one of the worst divisions of all time. Mm-hmm. He has to beat Derek Carr, Desmond Ridder, and Kyle Trask in the division right now.
Is it just that Spider-Man picture where they're pointing at each other with Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young? Like, hey,
oh God,
it's like the same expectation. Like, you have to win if you're in that conference because they suck.
Well, I'm not even kidding. Bryce Young might legitimately be a top 10 quarterback in that conference already, and he hasn't taken a snap yet. It's the NFC. They're so bad that Kirk Cousins is probably considered like the 4th best QB, and even the Vikings are like, no, we might take a quarterback tonight.
The best 1-2 quarterback in the NFC is Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
I don't know how you name
I don't know how
else.
anybody. Yeah, I don't know how anybody else can argue anybody else.
No, I mean, Giants fans will tell you that Daniel Jones is taking them to the promised land, but that doesn't mean that he's actually like top 2 in the division. So I don't know. You start going down the list, like Jared Goff's probably top 4.
Oh no. Top 6.
He just threw for 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions last year, and he was 6th in passing.
I need Mark to make me that clip that goes, oh, no.
I would go there. After the year that Jared Goff just had. 6th in passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks. Very good year. That being said, it also helps that Stafford was hurt last year.
That's true.
Kirk was okay. So, like, once you start going down the board, like, who's better than Goff?
Hey, before you go there, though, the best fit tonight so far, Tyree Wilson. Legit. Yeah. The flower suit. Totally legit.
That is an elite fit for sure. I thought that you were talking team fit for a second, and then I was
no outfit. Yeah, no.
I'm painfully white. So
there's the next Washington quarterback, Will Levis.
You think that? Okay.
I think he falls. Yeah.
But I don't know why you take him. Like, do they love Will Levis when you know that next year you could have Luke May or Caleb Williams? Because like Washington's roster is so bad, they might win 3 games.
So what do you think? Washington does the Arizona approach and just tank at this point and just fall back?
You roll out Sam Howell, and if he's something, then awesome. And if he's not, then you just go back to the draft board next year.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, why'd you sign Jacoby Brissett?
True. I just they're so bad.
I know.
They're just so
I'm not kidding. They might win 3 or 4 games, and then they'll be back here next year with the potential for having a elite quarterback sitting there.
Well, the Falcons pick is in, so I think Will Levis is going to Atlanta at this point because they suck at making picks. But let's
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They suck at picks. So at this point, everybody just thinks Will Levis is going to every team. If you're Atlanta though, where do you think Atlanta picked here, Kenny?
Where do they go with it?
Yeah,
I mean they got a really good wide receiver last year, so I don't think that they're going to go that route. They won't go tight end because they have Kyle Pitts. And they got to figure out if he's any good in year 3. You could look O-line because you can always get better at that spot for Atlanta, but it's probably most likely a defensive player. I don't know what player that is in particular, but I don't know.
Jalen Carter.
Like it probably at this point, if he's tumbling down the board, like just take the best available guy. Like I think you're so bad, just throw the playbook and all your draft analysis out the window and just say, hey, he's the best guy.
Okay. Here's my prediction on this one. Okay, Jalen Carter is the best player available. That would be the best pick for Atlanta here. Mm-hmm. My second best player available, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. Love the fit. Okay. Cornerback, they need that. Here is the best pick we can talk about here. That's right, Kenny. Bijan Robinson.
I like that you didn't even put Dijon mustard. You used like just regular mustard.
Straight Bijan. Yeah, no, it's not even Dijon mustard. Although, did you see somebody commented that he has his own Dijon mustard line?
Which is great.
That's perfect. Smart. It's what he
you know what's actually the smartest play for Atlanta? You call around and you say, who wants Javon Carter? Because we'll give you him, but that also means that you're going to give us a pick next year and probably one this year in order to get him. Because if you're Atlanta, like you're awful. So load up on picks. Absolutely. And I don't think that enough teams do that. Tyler Algier, though, had a good year last year, so that's why I don't think that they would take Bijan.
That's why it's my third fit. It's not the number one fit. Because if Algier struggled last year the whole way through and Cordero wasn't just doing Cordero things, then I would say you need it more. I think you're right, though.
I just think that there's broader roster needs.
This is pick number 8. I have not talked about what I talked to you about yet. I told everybody I would start to talk about it right now, and I'm going to, okay? I just need to see where this pick goes before I start going nuts, okay? So pick number 9 is Chicago. The pick is in. Before I go into this crazy hypothetical, pick at 9 is Chicago. Chicago doesn't really need a pick here either. They're another team that should be calling around to see who wants to come up. The Dallas Cowboys have a running back need. Okay, Tony Pollard can take his time coming back. They have a running back need. I remember a certain draft in Dallas, Kenny, where the Philadelphia Eagles traded ahead to take one person named Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, who is a longtime Cowboys fan, and said, "Fuck you to the Cowboys. You go home." That's basically what they said. This is our guy. Dallas Goedert has been exceptional. Don't think Jerry forgets shit. And don't remember Chicago wants to trade back. I am okay with a trade where the Cowboys do the exact same thing. But before I get into it, let's take a look at what the pick is.
Atlanta picks.
It's taking too long. Before I find out who this pick is, I would be Dallas and I would jump right in front of them and I would take it. I would take Bijan right before him.
They would hurry up and show me what the frickin' pick was.
Chris and Shane, Big Brothers Big Sisters, making their debut on the NFL draft. I really thought it was just a quick tidbit there. I was really happy to see.
Oh my God!
to see them honor the players who weren't able to make it because of costly things in their lives before the draft.
Wow. I can't wait for your reaction.
Hey, it's Bijan Robinson, big number 8. Yeah, I just want to get the mustard and squirt it out, but I'm not going to do that because my wife would kill me. Yes, Bijan Robinson, pick number 8. Let's go. I can finally be a fan. Thank God I went to that bird. Oh, I was sweating the Eagles so much. Oh, my gosh. What a pick. Man, that man's styling. I take it back. He's the best fit right there. That's the best
I think it's horrendous.
Wow.
The Bears are also trading their pick.
To who? Tell me it's Dallas.
It just popped up.
Dallas.
It just popped up on my screen. The Eagles are drafting at 9. The Eagles are at 9 and Chicago is at 10.
Oh, that's weird.
So they moved up one spot. So who do they want?
Who are they taking from? Why? Why would they do that?
I don't know.
That's a strange trade. We'll have to see. Anyways, this show ends after the Bijan pick, so let's analyze that. You said you hate it. You don't like that Bijan pick. I'm okay with it. I don't like that there's Algier immediately becomes the handcuff there. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that. Love Bijan Robinson in the NFL. We're seeing his comps. We're seeing his highlights. I've been all about it. I watch this team. I don't have to watch it. I know what he brings to the table. Kenny, for me, this is a decade-long prospect. How you handle him and how you manage him is going to be dependent on how great your team is. A lot of people have mishandled the running back position and paid too much here and there.
The Eagles are definitely moving up to take Jalen Carter.
You think so? The Jalen Carter pick is here. That's crazy. The number 2 prospect's going to go to a team that was in the Super Bowl, a team that is phenomenal. So I'm okay with that. He's the best prospect on the board. If you're Chicago, I'm guessing you probably go O-line here, unless you're going to get your 15th tight end on roster. Then maybe they go Kincaid. For Bijan, though, for you, bud, I know. Let's just not talk about the team so much, but as far as your like of the player, who do you comp him to? How do you like his player style?
I don't watch enough of Texas to really know a ton about him, but like, I don't know. I don't like first round running backs ever, unless it's late and it's kind of like if the Eagles, he was sitting there back when they had a pick like later in the draft, I would be like, yeah, sure, because we have a complete roster. Or like if Buffalo took him because they're like, yeah, we have everything, but we need a running back. Like teams like that, I kind of get it, but I don't know. I just think that Atlanta's going to not be very good. He's going to get hit a lot because the O-line's not great. And then we're going to be back here next year. Bijan's probably going to get banged up at some point, and if he doesn't, then he's gonna have a tough year. We saw it with Najee in Pittsburgh. Remember how crazy everyone was about Najee? He still doesn't have an O-line. And it's starting to get better, we're starting to see his talent, but like, why would you run him into the ground without the pieces there to help him?
Atlanta reminds me a lot of Houston. It's going to be very young for a little while, right? You have Ritter there, you have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts. Now you add Bijan Robinson. A lot of top players who are excelled, who are number 1 at their position in college, who are starting to translate into all pros in the NFL. It's just going to be a lot of that movement for Atlanta. To me, Bijan Robinson reminds me of like a Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. Okay, take it easy, Kenny. Take it easy. He reminds me of an all-inclusive Swiss Army knife type of running back. I think he does everything, and we'll see how that translates to the NFL as he takes the hits and see how his endurance actually holds up. Kenny, it was a pleasure having you on the show, my guy. I know in 10 minutes we're about to jump on a different show together. That's what they get, right? That's what they get. They get us. I'm
so curious why of all the people that they thought of to hop on their draft show, like I got a message.
I mean, it's obviously because we're stellar. We're stellar individuals.
But I was sitting there and I was like, I haven't mocked it all. I haven't I've listened to some stuff. I know the NFL just generally rosters wise what teams need and stuff.
I think I know what it was, Kenny. They were like, is that a back-to-back ITL pick'em champ with nothing to do on draft night? God, get that guy
they
signed.
Gotta snatch this guy up now. Like 3-4 weeks ago, they're like, hey,
what?
Give me on our draft.
What? What?
Nice plug. Yes.
I'm like, I guess. Like, sure. Sounds good.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's
that
phenomenal.
makes sense for the Bears. So they traded back one spot and got a 4th rounder next year for it. Why not? Like,
I have 93 messages in my Houston group. Couldn't guess why. All right. So obviously we're going to talk a little basketball before we punch out here, guys. So I'm going to take that off because that's not our only topic since we're on here. Your Lakers have a big game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they close out?
Yeah.
The Kings have a big game. Do they punch back in?
No.
So we're going to have a 6-7 matchup in the West. Do the Hawks still play spoiler and take the Celtics to 7?
No.
They currently lead with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. All right. Kenny Cotterill, everybody, you haven't had the same exact answers. So there's no reason to even have me answer those. Very excited to have you on, Kenny. I'll see you in 10. I'm going to enjoy this last hot dog. Bijan Robinson goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Kenny, tell people where they can find your continuing show.
At HedgePod, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:15 Eastern time. I think I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I haven't quite decided. But if I do, then just like be on the lookout for that. We're on a heater this month. if you bet $25 for every unit that we put out there, you'd be up over $700. So hope you've been tailing, and yeah, let's enjoy the rest of the night.
Might as well just get this final reaction. Eagles pick is in. Let's just see what's happening.
It's Jalen Carter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thanks, social spoiler. What an asshole.
That was a real dick move. Felt great doing it.
It was. I'll take it because of the old takes exposed thing. I'll take it.
You know what? I watched that game on the couch last night, and I was like, holy crap, is this?
Is this happening?
This is horrendous. Honestly, as soon as Jimmy hit the shot for them to go down 6, I'm like, oh, they're going to win this game.
I was in bed like this with all ticks exposed. I'm like, the thing. And when they got back within 4, I was like, no, come on, close it out.
It was so funny to just get the first notification, all ticks exposed. I'm like, oh, got it.
And then I fell asleep right after. Like, I'm literally in bed like that. And I fell asleep, and I got your message in the morning. Kenny Cotterill, everybody. Kenny, I'll see you in a minute. Thank you guys for watching ITL special edition of just chilling and watching the draft together. Bijan Watch is over. Now we go into full Dallas Cowboys mode. That's right. Underneath this wonderful jersey is the star. We go full Dallas Cowboys on the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. I'll see you guys on there. Go check them out. Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast on all social platforms. I think it's Good Old Boys FF is where you can find it. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Kenny.